Hello, my lovelies. Today we are reviewing the first season of The Legend of Vox Machina. So I'm excited to talk about this. So without any further ado, grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's jump into it. Roll the intro. Welcome back. Now, what are we talking about? What is The Legend of Vox Machina? The Legend of Vox Machina surrounds around a group of misfit adventurers as they are trying to make some coin. They get in some mishaps with dragons, vampires, and all kinds of evil creatures. And this show actually had a hard time finding a network. If you don't know the background of The Legend of Vox Machina, it is actually based off of the D&D campaign of Critical Role. Critical Role is a star-studded cast of well-known voice actors, including Laura Bailey, who you might know as the voice of Laguna Blue in Monster High. She also voice acted quite a bit in My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, which was one of my favorite shows growing up. She also voiced young Trunks, I think her name is, in Dragon Ball Z. You have Matthew Mercer, who you might know best as the voice of Levi Ackerman. Everyone is fantastic, and this is their D&D campaign. This show started out as a fundraiser on, I think, Kickstarter. It was actually one of the highest grossing Kickstarters, getting over $11 million for what was supposed to be a 20-minute animatic short, and it turned into a TV show because they raised so much money. And no one wanted to pick this show up. Nobody wanted to believe that a D&D campaign could make an interesting TV show. And my God, were they wrong? Were they wrong? So I am a critter. I love Critical Role. I have been watching for quite some time now. And I didn't want to go into this review with any sort of bias. So after I was done watching season 1, I went and watched several people's reactions, people who had no knowledge of what Critical Role was, no knowledge of anything behind the scenes, people going into this show completely blind. And one thing I noticed is everyone was digging this show. Everyone was in love with all the characters, which are Keyleth, Percy, Vex, they're twins. Don't get the names mixed up. Matthew Mercer himself was having issues saying their names quite a few times in the campaign. Pike, Scanlan, and Grog. They are Vox Machina. And everyone fell in love with these characters, such as I did. And everyone was praising everything that I was. So, the animation, let's go into the animation. The animation is done by the same people who you might know best as Young Justice, which Young Justice was one of my all-time favorite shows growing up. I still say yoink, souvenir, when I grab something off of a table or something. When I just go to quickly grab something, I'm like, yoink, souvenir, because my favorite character was Wally. Oh, Wally, I miss you, man. Why'd you have to go out like that? Oh, I miss Wally. Him and Artemis were my OTP. I was so sad at the end. I'm sorry, but still hurting from that particular death. The voice acting, of course, is top-notch because everyone reprised their characters to be in this show. And it was just so good. Including they had David Tennant, who you might know best as Doctor Who, playing a character. All around, all star-studded cast, not just the regular cast members, but they also brought in so many great people to be in this show. The emotional moments, even though I knew what was going to happen after watching Campaign 1, the emotional moments you're supposed to feel, as prepared as I was, they still hit. The emotional moments, they still hit. The humor is on point. The humor in this show is fantastic. If you hear any noise in the background, it's my cat. He's having the zoomies right now. I'm so sorry. If you hear like scuttling in the background, it's probably my cat. So I'm sorry about that. But the humor is on point. The show was just, it's so good. You can tell the people that made this show cared about what they were making. And it's just sprinkled throughout the entire TV show, from the characters to the animation, the cinematics of this show. There are so many well done cinematic moments. It's just mind blowing. And these are things that other people were saying. Like, you can tell that the people really care about what they were making. You can really care about, you can see everything that they wanted to do with this show, and they did it so well. One character in particular that I've always loved, which a lot of people actually didn't like at first, is Keyleth. Keyleth is a Arashari. If you don't know what the Ashari are, they are basically like groups of druids. And there's like the Air Ashari, the Fire Ashari, the Earth Ashari, the Water Ashari. Basically like the premise of Avatar: The Last Airbender, which, speaking of which, the voice of Azula, Grey Delisle, who you might also know as Daphne from Scooby-Doo in almost every single animated movie, she's also in this. So that's what the Arashari are. They are basically protectors of a certain portal, and that's what they guard. And Keyleth is next in line, and she has to complete this mission in order to take that leadership. And this follows her story of her going to each and every temple, which is part of this ritual. You have to go to each and every other temple to complete this mission to gain the voice of the Tempest, which is the name of the leader of the Arashari. So a lot of people did not like Keyleth at first because she's very insecure. She has moments of doubting herself. She has moments of just panic attacks, which I relate heavily. But we see her growth gradually through the campaign as she accepts the role of a leader. And the emotional moments with Keyleth are still so hard hitting. Oh my God. And not just that, but like everyone's story is so hard hitting, and you can tell they care about everything that they're doing. The plot points. There are so many well-threaded, foreshadowed plot points in this show, and they're done so well, which is something a lot of people don't get right sometimes, is like you'll see clear foreshadowing. But the foreshadowing was done so subtly, it was great. Oh my God, the villains. The villains! Let's talk about the Briarwoods. So Lord and Lady Briarwood have connections to Percy, who is in Vox Machina. They have completely decimated his family. His mother and father were the Lord and Lady of Whitestone, which is a kingdom near Iman. And Iman is the kingdom that Vox Machina is primarily based, because they saved Iman from a dragon, so their leader gave them a keep, which is a base of operations, basically. So when Lord and Lady Briarwood show up in Iman to join a really high political dinner with Vox Machina in attendance as the kingdom's guardians, Percy realizes that's the Briarwoods. Oh crap, what are they doing here? And it kind of sends them off to defeat the Briarwoods in this season. And oh my God, the bloodshed, the villains are so, oh my God, so evil. Like, I knew they were evil as hell, but like in this show, they are so well translated. Oh my God. Lady Delilah is just overpowered. My God. I'm not going to spoil too much, but like, oh my God, they are just cutthroat, let's just say. There's a specific moment when they're in Whitestone, and you'll probably know the moment I'm talking about. But they are just, they're cutthroat as all hell. Everything from the music to the story to the characters are just amazing. Let's talk about some of the characters. I've already discussed Keyleth. And I've already discussed Percy a little bit, but Percy's thing is guns. He's a very reserved individual. He has this, you know, I'm a gentleman. He was raised as a lord. He was going to be the next in line to be the Lord of Whitestone. So he's very prim, he's very proper, but he also has moments of anger and vengeance against the Briarwoods and everyone that wronged him and caused the death of his family. And we follow that along in this season. Then we get to Scanlan. Scanlan is the hilarious bard. He is very reckless. He likes his women, let's just say. Scanlan's songs are amazing, and Sam Riegel. Sam Riegel is Scanlan in the campaign as well, and you can tell he had fun with this character, being in this character again, because the songs are hilarious, the jokes. Scanlan's always calling himself a snack. And he's, you know, very charismatic. He's very like, yeah, I did that. I didn't mean to, but I did that. That's Scanlan for you. He's a gnome. We have another gnome. Her name is Pike. And Pike is the cleric. She worships the goddess known as the Everlight. And her best friend is Grog, which is a very tall, very big barbarian. Now, they handled Pike, because if you don't know, Ashley Johnson, who plays Pike, was also filming the show Blind Spot at the same time that she was playing as Pike in Campaign 1. So there was a lot of sessions that Ashley missed. If that truck could not drive by at this time, thank you. So she missed a lot of sessions. And now we get to see a lot of like what Pike was doing in these missed sessions. Her journey to the Temple of the Everlight and her fixing her connection with the Everlight. And these moments are so good. Oh my God. Like, this is something even as me as a critter didn't get to see. So it's very much new and just so good. Oh my God. There's this moment of like her figuring out who she is. Oh, it's so good. I can't get over how good it was. And this is another thing that people were saying was like, damn, that was emotional. So it's not just me. I looked at hundreds of other videos, maybe not hundreds, but like at least a dozen videos of different people reacting to the seasons of Vox Machina before I made this video. So these are things that other people themselves that are saying, because Pike's journey is so good. And the cinematics of one particular scene are just, love it, love it. And then we get to Grog. Grog is Pike's best friend. They've been traveling together for a very long time. Grog is a very kind, very caring barbarian. And if you don't know, barbarians like to rage. He's like the Hulk. He blackout, goes into a rage, and just tanks everybody, decimates when he's in a rage. But Grog loves his ale. Grog loves his ale, and he loves Pike and the rest of the group like family, and I love Grog. He's played by Travis Willingham, who plays Thor in a lot of the animated series of Marvel stuff. He plays Thor in a lot of them, as well as many, many other projects. And I love Grog. I think everyone was saying that they love Grog and they love Scanlan. I was watching one particular group, I think they were called the Round Table, and they're like, yo, I love Grog, man. Like, first episode, they're like, man, I love Grog, I love Scanlan, those are my dudes. And you can tell Travis just loves, like, you can tell these people love playing the characters that they do. And the twins, Vax and Vex, are very cool characters. Vaxodon. I can't say the name right, even though I've been watching this for the longest time. I'm so sorry. If Liam O'Brien is watching this, I love you, and I'm so sorry I'm mispronouncing things. But Vax is a rogue, and if you don't know, a rogue is basically very stealthy, like an assassin. Vax is very charming, and so is his sister, Vex. Vex is a ranger. She has a pet bear named Trinket, and she's very sexy, she's very British, she's very cunning. Vax is very cunning, and I love her so much. I love everyone so much, actually. I've covered everyone. All right, so this show was amazing. It was so good. Oh my God. I can't get over how good it was. But the show is for 16 plus. Before I do my ending, the show is for 16 plus because there's a lot of sexual stuff in it. There's a lot of violence. There is a ton of violence. There's lots of brains. There's lots of heads coming loose, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of violence in this show, and they don't shy away from showing it. They They full on show the violence. So be careful if you're watching this and you're under 16. Please don't watch it if you're under 16. I don't know. I like it. Don't watch it if you're under 16 because this show is very adult. It's very adult. So yeah, from everything, from the music, the cinematics, the animation, the characters, you're gonna love The Legend of Vox Machina, even if you don't know anything about Critical Role. If you don't know anything about Critical Role, you're still gonna love this show and you're still gonna love the characters, as many people already have. So yeah, it was a breath of fresh air after watching the horrific just train wreck that was Fairly Odd Parents, Fairly Odder. I don't think I'll ever be able to scrub that disgrace from my brain. So, The Legend of Vox Machina was such a welcome breath of fresh air in a way. So, that's what I got for you guys. I'm giving this show a 10 out of 10. It was amazing. I'm waiting for season 2. Like, I cannot wait for season 2 of The Legend of Vox Machina. If we get it. I hope we do. I really hope we do. Amazon, please give us a season 2. So that's what I got for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you feel like it, please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button maybe for shits and gigs. I have a stutter. I'm so sorry. I don't talk about just TV shows. I talk about books, movies, TV shows, anime, pop culture drama, pop culture news in general. Anything that really interests me. That's why this is called The Random Show for a reason. It's random on this corner of the internet. So I'm sure if you look around the channel, you'll find something you like. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I love you so much. Have a great day.